Morning girls, Wednesday, so I guess you're due a little video from me, and yeah, I'm really excited to do this one for you. And today I'd like to work on some floor exercises with you, building up our upper body strength, and I'd like you all to be able to join in with these. So we're going to start by just going through all the exercises that we can complete in the kneeling down position, and just showing you exactly how to perform those exercises in the kneeling down position, in a position that maximizes the core recruitment, so the use of our tummy muscles. Okay, so these are brilliant for any beginner exercise. So I'm going to run through the exercises. It's going to be all upper body, but the main focus is on showing you how to be in that kneeling position so we can maximize the benefits on our tummy. Okay, so we're going to start off with some press ups, and just like last week, we're going to go through and do a certain amount of reps on each one. And once we've gone through with me, if you want to repeat it 2 or 3 times or 4 times, then that'll give you a really good workout. Okay, but yeah, just go through it with me today and just get the correct form for each exercise, and I'll talk you through how to really use those tummy muscles whilst you're doing exercises that you wouldn't normally do correctly in a kneeling down position. Okay, so you're going to be a pro at kneeling down exercises by the end of this video, and then if you perform them in that way and keep performing them in that way, then we're going to really build on that tummy strength and that core strength that we need going forward. Okay, so let's get to it. So we're going to go for press ups to start off with. So all these exercises are going to be with the same teaching points for the kneeling down position. Okay, so make sure you're comfortable, get yourself a mat, and if you need some extra padding for your knees, then just go and pop and get a towel and just fold the towel up and just put it down by your knees. Cool, let's go. Okay, so okay guys, so in boot camp I'll say everybody start off with press ups, and some people can perform the press ups in the full position and some people can't. Okay, so the ones that can't have to be able to then go down into the kneeling position with the correct form. Okay, otherwise we won't be able to recruit that tummy muscle. Right, so when we go down into the kneeling position and we perform our press ups, most people will start in this position here. Okay, and it's quite boxy, isn't it? It's quite a boxy position. So the hands are good because the hands are underneath the shoulders, and that's where you want them to be when you perform any type of press up. Okay, whether it's beginners or advanced. But it's the hip area, it's this area here that recruits the abs when we do the exercise. Okay, so if you're in this position here and I perform a press up in that position there, the only muscles that are working are my chest and my arms, my triceps. Yeah, it's literally just upper body work, and that's good if your goal is to improve your upper body. But ours is not, because we all want to have a nice tight tummy and we all have a nice strong tummy, okay, to look after our lower back. So when we're in that position there, what we want to do is just take our hands forward a little bit, and as we take our hands forward, we have to get our shoulders back over our wrists. So if we tilt forward and bring the shoulders over the wrist, that automatically brings my bum down. You see that? And I get in the correct position. There. So now straight away I can feel my abs working. Okay, and I'll squeeze my bum and I'll tuck my tummy in really tight, and then I know that any movement I do, even if it's just a non-movement, just holding, I'm using my tummy. Okay, so I check. So I check that my shoulders are over my wrists, and I check that my hips are parallel to the floor, and that's this position here. Okay, so that makes the press up a little bit harder because you're asking your tummy to do some of the work as well, or most of the work, rather than the upper body. Okay, but that still means that we can still do a press up. It just means that you go down as far as you're comfortable with. Okay? So you might be able to go down the whole way, keeping those hips parallel to the floor, and then pushing back up. Or you might just go down a little bend in the elbows and pushing back up. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's better to do the press up with the hips forward and go down this far than if you was in that boxy position and just doing this. Rubbish. This is not what we want to see. Okay? So now, with me, so we'll come out of that position and we'll practice just getting into it, okay? So usually I start with my knees quite far back on the mat, so it gives me space to get my hips forward when I go down. Okay? So now with me, you're going to perform 12 press-ups in the proper position, in the kneeling position, in the correct position with me, okay? So we're going to go down, get into that box position first, but put our hands right at the top of the mat so that we have to bring our shoulders over our wrists and automatically brings the bum down. So you might have to adjust your hands a little bit as you go, but what you're looking for is that parallel position with the hips. Okay, so when you're ready, you choose the depth of how low you want to go in your press-ups, and we'll perform 12 press-ups together, nice and slowly. Let's go. Making sure those hips are parallel to the floor all the time. 8. 12, and that's good. So because my hips were parallel down to the floor the whole time, I know that my abs have been working for that whole 12 reps. Okay? Doesn't matter how far I go down, as long as I start practicing my press-ups with that parallel position. So let's try a couple more exercises in that position. So we're going to go and do some Renegade Rows. So any rowing action works the back. And the back's a big muscle, so we want to burn lots of calories if you work a big muscle. And also this is a great exercise to get rid of the back fat, just around the brow area. So again, let's get back into that box position. Knees quite far back on the mat. Pop your hands forwards. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Automatically brings the hips down. And then I'm just going to adjust my hands so I'm comfortable and make sure my hands are underneath my wrists. So from that position there, I'm going to bring my hands slightly closer together for my Renegade Rows. So I want them to come up nice and narrow when I come up, but I've still got my hips parallel. So squeeze my bum and tuck my tummy in. And then we're going to do 12 Renegade Rows each side, so 24 in total. The whole time I perform my 24 reps, I'm going to make sure I'm squeezing my glutes and I'm tucking my tummy in. So when we're ready, let's go. Elbows coming up in a nice straight line, and we keep our core as still as possible. 4, 5, 6. So work through 24 for me. That's 12 each side. So it's not easy to stay in this position because you're asking your tummy to hold your position for you. Okay, I've got 8 more. Really drive those elbows back, keep them nice and narrow, to keep them brushing past your ribs as you go up. Good. So we'll come back out of that position, stretch the arms if you need to. Oh, brilliant. So I'll take you into another exercise, still practicing that kneeling position, and we're going to do plank builders. Okay, so I'll show you them in the full position. Okay, so this is what we're aiming for. But we won't be able to do this position unless we get our core tight and nice and strong. So this is a full press up position, and a plank builder goes down into a plank one at a time and then comes back up again. Okay, So we're going to practice that exercise in a kneeling position, and we're going to perform 12 reps together. So again, keep your knees behind you at the back of the mat so you can walk forwards, hands at the top of the mat, and then we're just going to move forward so that our shoulders come over our wrists and our bums automatically go down. Okay. So in this movement, we want to try and keep minimal movement with the hips as possible. So we don't really want to be swinging those hips as we're coming up and down. We want to keep this nice and tight. So you have to practice tensing your abs, okay? So we're going to go down, 1, and back up again. Okay, so we're going to perform 11 more together, and these are plank builders. Keeping those hips parallel to the floor. Let's go. And as long as you keep those hips down, you should feel your tummy working. And 12. That's good. Okay, so the final exercise I'm going to teach you today is just a plank hold position. Okay, so plank holds are isometric exercises, and isometric means that you don't move whilst you're doing them. It's just a strength exercise, in this case a plank, to strengthen up your core area. So a normal plank position would be like so, and you go up. So again, you check that your elbows are underneath your shoulders and in a nice neutral line, and that your bum's not cheating, your abs are not cheating. Because if your bum's up in the air, then you're not using your abs. Remember, we have to have those hips parallel to the floor. So we have to be in this position here. Okay, so we're going to do that in a kneeling position today, because that's how we're going to progress into that full position, by practicing our kneeling positions in the correct, with the correct technique. So keep your knees back, and again, let's go into that position. You're prone out this, you don't need to talk me through this one. Hands forward, shoulders over, down onto your forearms, and keep those knees on the floor. Keep the hips parallel to the floor, but leave a gap under here. Yeah? And you're going to hold that plank position, and you're going to squeeze your tummy. Okay, so if this is too easy, if you're somewhere in the middle, then I can show you a progression. So you either hold this exercise for 12 seconds, or you can do 12 plank ups and downs. But remember, we have to be in this parallel position when we come down. Okay, so we get our tiptoes ready, and we push up onto our elbows, we go into a plank, and drop knees down, parallel position. Okay, so it's very easy once you go up to cheat. But we've got to stay down in this position for the 12. So let's do 12 reps with me. So moving from the isometric now into the halfway point before we can hold that full position plank. So let's do 12 together. Up, hold, squeeze, and down, parallel to the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, good, 6, 7, 8, 4 more, 9, parallel, 10, 11, hold and squeeze, and last one, best one. Good. Okay, so if that was too easy, or you just want a little bit of an extra workout, then repeat that video up to 2 or 3 times, 4 if you want to, and have a minute's rest in between each video. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope it was beneficial, and let me know how you get on, and I'll catch you next Wednesday. I'll be showing you another video for you guys. to keep yourselves training during lockdown. Take care, guys. Stay positive, stay well, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. See you later.